Welcome back to Project 613. Today we are going to learn 6 mitzvot, continuing on about the sacrifices. And today we learn about a new category of sacrifices known as the Korban Shlomim, the peace offering. So we've already learned about 3 different types. We learned about the Olah, the burnt offering, the Chatas, the sin offering, the Asham, the guilt offering. And now we have the 4th category known as the peace offering. These are the totality of the general categories of animal sacrifices, and all of the various types of sacrifices that you read about will fall into one of these categories. These 4 categories in general are divided into 2. As we learned yesterday, there's something called Kodshe Kodshim, which is the holiest level of sacrifices, and then there is something called Kodshim Kalim, a lower degree of holiness when it comes to sacrifices. And the offering that we're learning about today, the first mitzvah, which is the mitzvah about the peace offering, is one of the Kodshim Kalim. It's has a lower level of kedusha, a lower level of sanctity, and therefore it can be eaten not only by the priests and their families, but also by the owners. Those who bring the peace offering also get a part of it to eat. This is actually one of the reasons why it's called a peace offering, because there is peace between the owners, between the Kohanim, and so to speak, between God. Part of the offering goes on the altar, another part is eaten by the priests, and another part is eaten by the owner who brings the sacrifice. At any rate, the mitzvah that we are learning is to follow all of the laws as prescribed in the Torah for when and how and in which situation to bring the peace offering. The next mitzvah that we have is also regarding these sort of lower level sanctity offerings, which parts of them could be eaten by the owners. There is a prohibition in the Torah that although they can eat, they have to wait until the blood of the animal is sprinkled on the altar, and only then they can eat. The next mitzvah that we learn is about the mincha offering. Now this is a different type. This isn't an animal offering, this is a food offering. It's called the Korban Mincha, and there are many times in the Torah, many different times when a food offering would be brought, and the mitzvah that we are learning today is that we should follow all of the specific laws as we are commanded in the Torah, with the applicable procedure for each specific occasion when a food offering needs to be brought. There are also different ways of preparing the food offering. The meal offering, there are 5 different ways of preparing it. It's either baked or fried or deep fried or burnt. And the mitzvah basically is to follow the exact procedure for every given situation when a meal offering needs to be brought in the Holy Temple. The 4th and 5th mitzvah that we learn today is also regarding a meal offering, a specific type. You see, we learned previously that sometimes there is a sin offering when a person sins inadvertently and needs to bring an offering. What happens if they cannot afford an animal? So then, in its place, they can bring a meal offering instead. And this is where we have 2 mitzvot regarding this, that the meal offering of a sinner, so someone who brings a sin offering as a meal rather than as an animal, it is forbidden for them to put oil or frankincense in their meal offering. And this is even though in all other meal offerings, or most other meal offerings, there was oil and frankincense in the mixture. The final mitzvah that we learn today is the meal offering of a Kohen, the Korban Mincha of a Kohen. So if a priest himself brings a meal offering, it is a mitzvah that it should not be eaten at all, rather it should all be burnt on the altar. And this is unlike the regular meal offering, which a Kohen would have a part of it, but if a Kohen himself is bringing the offering himself, then he doesn't eat a part of it, rather it all gets burnt on the altar. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.